Okay, yo. Levels are all good. I think we're right. Cool. Right, bear with me just 1 second. Just checking some stuff out. Just make sure we're all good. Yes, we are. Cool. All right, nice. Okay, I'll give people a second to roll in if anyone will. That's another question, but we'll see. Get some coffee. Oh man, that's good. Love a good bit of coffee. Right. Alright, so I'm just going to get going actually, because there's a lot to try and get done in this session. So people join, and if not, that's all good. I'm just going to jump into my Notion file and have a look at what we're going to be doing today. So, I'm leaking my deets. That's not for anything important, so it's fine. Right, okay. Where are we at? So, live session plan. Cool, so this is today, aiming to build out the homepage, or shall I say build out what we can of the homepage. I'm not sure how it's going to go, to be honest, because there is a lot to be done, and I didn't get a lot of the stuff I wanted to get done before the stream done, because, you know, life and stuff comes up. So we probably won't be able to get like everything done, but I haven't put much tasks on here compared to like what I usually have on here. Usually I have at least like sort of maybe 5 to 6 tasks, but I've just kind of stripped it down a bit because we will be mainly just building out components. We're just gonna be like writing a lot of code. Well, that's the aim anyway. I don't know if we can even get onto doing that a lot, because there's quite a bit of setup that we kind of need to try and do beforehand. But in my head, I've got a way of maybe just working around that. Essentially, the idea is to build out what we have in our Figma file here, basically today. This whole thing. And there's a few things that rely on other things to be built first. So I'm just sort of thinking about how I'm going to do that. But we'll deal with that when we get to that point. But essentially what it is, I'm just going to run through some updates. First of all, just looking at... actually, no. So the updates, that was the stuff I was supposed to have done before the stream. So I haven't got much updates, really, since the last one anyway. Maybe a couple of things, but all of these things that are in this updates thing now need to be done. So that's going to be a lot longer. I'm going to say that's probably going to take like... I don't want to be too like... I'm just going to say anywhere between like 15 minutes and half an hour. It could take up to that, if not longer. The input component, actually, I think I'm going to leave that for now. So I can kind of just... I'm going to keep it in the back of my head to... We'll either deal with that today, or we might deal with it in the next stream. We'll just see how far we get, because I haven't got a whole lot of time. Probably going to be streaming for like maybe just over an hour. I'm going to try and get done by like 6 p.m. over here, UK time. So essentially, so they're not really updates now. They're just, it's going to be tasks to do. So we need to essentially update our fonts, and I'll go through that in the Figma file as well. And then we need to just go through like how I'm going to build up the pages essentially, and just setting up stuff. So that's just going to be a quick one. And then we'll just get into building the actual page out. And then, yeah, it was like if we had extra time, then we'd build out like the newsletter component. So that's what that input component would be for. But like I said, that's probably less likely to get that done today. Probably have to leave that for maybe tomorrow or Monday. Or I'll just kind of do it in my own time away from the stream. But obviously I'll update. But just to have a look at where we're at in terms of design. So this is, yeah, it is a bit of an update, to be fair. let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of those so we can just see the design properly. So this is where we are. So we've got this is the latest design anyway. I'm going to try not to change things too much now because I really do want to push on and get like writing code, and I haven't been checking the chat, my bad. Let me make sure that I'm not leaving anyone hanging, am I? No, we're all good. Cool. So yeah, essentially the idea here is yeah, to just try and get going. Obviously, like not everything is filled in. It's not all like super ideal, but that's fine. The aim is just to kind of get that like MVP done, get like the basic structure. I'm fine with the structure now, so we can sort of keep it as that for the homepage. Try and get that built out, get it responsive, and then like later on, that's when we can add the data in. And also, this needs to change. Like I was just messing with this, so don't look at that. No, it's fine. This is just an idea, but in terms of like the actual like layout and stuff, I'm probably going to keep it that way. I just need to figure out the kind of visual I want on the right side. I just kind of thought I might as well keep with the consistent theme if that's what I'm doing for the homepage. It would be nice just to kind of have, and these like so. These are just all going to be like SVGs that are just animating using frame of motion. Again, that all of the animation stuff and all of those like nice bits are going to be left till kind of after. So eventually it would just be an SVG image. But I think the nice thing is that it's fine as an SVG image. I think, you know, it's quite like pleasing enough to look at. I mean, yeah, it's all right. But I mean, personally, I like it. So, you know, that's cool. We can leave that as is for that home page. Obviously, for each page, I'm just going to have to sort of maybe just differentiate the design a little bit and make it relevant to that page. But essentially, this is like where we're at with the about page as well. So obviously, I need to add more stuff to this, but this wasn't the concern for today anyway. But just to give everyone an idea of like where I'm at in terms of design. And I've got the mobile design mostly done. I was actually like just before this stream, just actually refactoring this. And I've actually just messed this up a little bit, actually. How far? Yeah, let me just go back. It's going to take me across a few different pages, actually. That's fine. You do that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Figma is so interesting the way it works in terms of like undoing stuff. It like, instead of undoing stuff in that one file, and then you go to another file and undo stuff, it actually just like, when you're undoing the history, it takes you through like the entire pages. Which is like, I suppose it's kind of nice. So you don't have to keep on switching. Like, but if there's something that you want to, if there's a change you want to keep in a certain page, like, you're not going to get much luck there. So the thing I messed up there was I didn't take the whole article with me. So what I'm trying to do is just take this article here. That is on this page. Actually, I can turn these off now because it just does not look nice when I'm trying to design. That's just for me to check like the layout. But because I'm using auto layout, it's kind of like things are just naturally. That's why I like using auto layouts, because it just keeps things in place. You don't have to do too much, like checking up on your grid. But obviously, it's definitely a good practice to do that. And yeah, so basically, we're just taking this article box or whatever you want to call it. Sorry, article card, and take it from this size, and we want to like resize it to fit the mobile view. So what we're going to do basically, and this is just like maybe a quick Figma lesson or Figma tip. So what we can do here, see we've got the article. What I want to do firstly is just clear up all of this stuff for a second. Right, so we can actually see, okay, so we're in here, right? So we want to grab this article, we want to put it next to this article here. So obviously, yeah, it looks weird. I'm going to put it at the top actually. And all we need to do is kind of get things to scale down. So what we want to do essentially here is go down, we want to kind of like, yeah, walk down the layers to make things like responsive naturally. So what we'll do first is we'll deal with the text first. So what we do to make things like responsive, I suppose this is like the most kind of responsive like type of value or feature, I think I'd probably call it, that Figma has, right? So basically you set whatever element you want to kind of respond to any external changes, you want to make that field container. So what that says is that this text box is going to follow whatever its parent does. and its parent here is the frame, which is also on a field container, right? So you can probably get the idea that like this is just going to keep filtering up. So we look at what like this is contained in. So we look for the parent of this. It's not this because this is the sibling, this frame here. So we look for the article. And the article's got a fixed width. But if we put the article to field container, that again is going to resize to its outer container, which is like the actual entire page wrapper. And now you can see that like that's now like clamped itself in, which is nice, but obviously things are still looking a mess. So we need to fix a few other things. What I'm going to do before like moving on to the height and stuff is I'm going to do the same thing for this like bottom like what was it, like a read more like text that says read more and an arrow as well. So we just want to make sure that again we just fill in these containers. Or actually, even better still, maybe we just leave it as hug contents. I think that should be, yeah, no, we can get away with that. That's fine. So what we want to do, and the reason why it's pushed down so far and it looks weird, is because the same thing's happened with the height. So we need to do the same thing with the height as well. We can let the text, I think it should be all right for it to hug the contents. I think that if we just have this set to field container and have the article also set to hug contents, yeah, that pushes it down. So that's nice. So obviously, yeah, that kind of looks a bit weird though. So, and obviously the main reason is that the text just shouldn't be this big because that text is for the desktop view, right? So we just need to make this a lot smaller. So what we can do, we can just use one of our mobile headings. Don't really know, maybe go for a H3, H4. That's obviously smaller than the text now, but that's cool. That's not too much of an issue. Yeah, I was kind of just thinking about this before the live. In terms of like sizing, I think maybe I need to spend a bit more time actually like working with this and figuring out the correct kind of size, because it all looks okay. I'm going to demonstrate this in a minute, but like I don't know, I'm feeling a bit like iffy about how things are looking right now. So I don't know, we'll see. We'll have to see, to be honest. Yeah, that's better. Okay, cool. And this read more obviously needs to be smaller. That's weird. Oh, that's because this is, okay, that's doing something it shouldn't. It shouldn't be filling the container width wise. It should just have its own width. That's fine. So that was my bad. And let's, had to make sure my mic was on there in a second. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Cool. That looks like a lot nicer, right? So we can like get rid of this guy now. So like, okay, why did that happen? Right. So the reason I believe that that happened is because it's something to do with this outer. So it's hugging the contents. No, we want it to fill the container. That's why. It was trying to hug the contents and it shouldn't have been. Cool. So that's a card, and I don't know why. Oh, that's just from what I had it named previously. Yeah, I'm still like figuring out the colors. I don't know. That shouldn't be saying that either. That should be C. Or like actually. Oh, sorry, I'm knocking things. Read all projects, read all articles, or something. I don't know. I thought about making it just black and white, but I do kind of want some color in here. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to, for now, I'm going to keep this as the same as the. Okay. Cool. We're just going to keep it like that for now, just to keep things, you know, streamlined. Okay, cool. So as we can see now, we've got like a fully kind of responsive. Yes, the sizes aren't ideal. Like, few things still need to be changed, but what we can just quickly do is start viewing these now, prototype wise. So what I'm going to do, so when you want to view something on how it's going to look on a specific screen size, you just go to the prototype tab here. You can drop down and you can like choose an existing frame. So they've got like a nice set of defaults like iPhones, you know, Google phones, iPads, Apple Watches as well. You know, you can have your own custom size, which is what I usually go for when I'm like wanting to do like a desktop size, because I usually just go off what my desktop is, which is 1920 by 1080. So that's what I've got it set to right now. So what we'll actually just do is we'll use that, but what we have to do and always ensure is that we're like looking at the right frame. So you just set it down here under starting frame. Obviously this should be named better, and I'm gonna fix that, but like I've just been trying to whiz through these designs. But let's have a look at how this is looking like full screen. Okay, so this is where we're at, and I think, I can't remember, did I show this in the last one? I feel like I did, and I think I went through like how I've just created like a little like navigation thing just to show you how the page navigation might look. That's obviously not what it's going to look like, but it just gives you an idea of, you know, switching from the home page to the about page. It's nothing crazy. But you know, we can scroll down here and we can look. So this kind of gives you an idea of what, like how big the content is going to be, and like this is even like a completely accurate representation, because I don't know if it's very hard to distinguish the difference, but this isn't actually even taking up the whole screen. This is like the page ends here and here. So, you know, I think, I don't know, like, I don't think I need to necessarily rethink the like sizing of things, but I think once we get into the code and start building, we'll get a better idea and a better sense of maybe how like big or small stuff is. Like generally, I think in terms of hierarchy, because I was having some issues with this the other day actually, and I feel like I've managed to get it to a point where like it's okay, but maybe that's just me. Like, but I think in terms of hierarchy, it works kind of well. Like we've got like this H1 here, it's got a subtitle. We've got like a, I don't know, H2, I suppose it could be, and we've just got some text under that. Call to action there, hero visual on the right side, and then we just are down straight into the features. So I'm okay with it for now. But you know, like this is, you know, I suppose it's a work in progress, tweaks, but yeah, ideally, in an ideal world, I would have had the design like fully thought out before I even started the project. But for me, like there's a bit of a time constraint, so I didn't want to spend like so much time designing. I wanted to just get out the basic design, and just basically like once things are built out, I can iterate on that and build out the design to like what I truly want it to be. But for now, I'm just going to settle for this, and we'll just kind of get building things. So that's the approach I suppose we're going to take. So look how we're going to approach this. So in terms of the visual, yeah, I was just doing some stuff before this actually, where I was just exporting the SVG, just seeing like how it would be to work with in our code, and I like also put it into SVG. I think it's SVG OMG, so that's just like it's like a SVG like minifier. I think that's a word, a minifier. It just minifies the markup. Just helps you to compress the file size, so that's obviously good. Always good for optimization. So yeah, very handy tool, and I highly recommend like anyone that's sort of using any SVG images and stuff. That's kind of like a good number one rule, is to like minify that like markup and try and compress that file size down a bit. I think here, yeah, so we saved 69%, so that's nice. That's helpful. Cool. So what we're going to do now is, I need to view the mobile view as well. I don't want to discriminate against that. So let's go iPhone X. Starting frame is iPhone 6. So I really should just clean my stuff up. But I'm really lazy. It should have our nice iPhone frame as well for us. Yeah, we do. So this gives us an idea of like how it's going to look on iPhone, which is nice. And I think we still got that, but that doesn't go back to the default. No, it doesn't. So whenever like you're doing prototypes, sometimes you don't have the same prototypes linked. Let me check the chat. Yeah, sometimes you don't have the same prototypes linked. So you have to like go down here and restart, and it will just set you back to the beginning basically. But this is, yeah, so same kind of content, just resized for mobile. Again, spacing, I'm not entirely sure about this. I might actually just quickly go back and fix that up. It looks a bit weird to me. And sometimes like when you look at it in those views, like that's just when you can really tell like when something's like a little bit off. Nothing like awfully wrong. It's just that I think it could be better. Just trying to get a sense of, okay, so I feel like firstly, this is a bit too far away. Like 40 should be all right. I think this also is like probably a bit far away from the heading. It doesn't have to be that far. Right, and then we can give this arrow some space. Yeah, okay, that's better. That's better. So let's like, I don't know. It doesn't have to be crazy. Something like 48. Could be nice. Might go 56. I always go up in like increments of 8 most of the time. But actually no, I feel like those two should be, I don't know why, I just feel like these two blocks of text should be a bit more tightly coupled, like together. I don't think they need to be like all that far away. So I'm trying not to like add too many auto layouts, because like as amazing as auto layouts are in sort of like building up your UI in this kind of box model sense, as good as it is for that, it can add a bit of complexity when working through layers. So that there is that caveat to that. It's like you don't just get it for free. And I have to remind myself of this because I sometimes just go crazy with these and I realize, oh my god, I've just like nested like 5 levels down, and now it's really difficult to like change something in that one thing. Of course, like you can always hit control and you actually get access to like the bottom level element in like wherever you're hovering over. So like for example, like that arrow that you saw, you know, that lives inside all these frames that we'd usually have to like click down. So you can see I'm clicking, right, and it's going through the frames, but you can just hit control and it just goes and grabs like whatever you hover over, it's going to grab like that, like the lowest element, which is really nice because if you need to change some text, you can just hit control. And I didn't know that until recently. I was just like, I don't know how I figured it out, but I definitely found it like randomly. But it's a nice feature. I should definitely read up on the features more. I advise anyone learning it to definitely read up on the features. Don't do what I do and not bother. And then, you know, I'm really surprised when you find out there's something that you could have been doing for ages. But I don't know. That's just me, maybe. Let's space this out as well, actually. I just feel that's a little bit too close for comfort. 72. Okay, so let's have a look at it now. We can go back, and it's nice because it just updates on the fly. And so what we want actually is this arrow like a lot more broken away. So what we can do is this. Take that arrow and its frame. We can just maybe pull it out of here and see how we get on with that. So that pulls it a little bit lower. So you'll see now that I think it should be like, yeah, it like moves with everything. So let's make it 64 instead of 40 maybe. And that looks like a fair bit of space. Yeah, okay, that feels better to me. That's cool. I'm cool with that. And then we can come down, we see our featured projects. It's like seal projects. It's got featured articles as well. Cool. It's got the placeholder content. I don't know. I always have fun with this. Like, you know, this is some arbitrary subtitle for my amazing blog post. You should most definitely read. So yeah, go check that out, even though it doesn't exist. And then obviously, yeah, we've got like the rest of the stuff. Okay, so I think we're ready now to kind of start getting into the code and just working on stuff. Let's do it. So here we are. So let's think about this. What I'm going to do. Oh, we've actually got... Oh, that's my bad. Wow, this has been running for like a day, maybe. Yeah, I let my computer sleep and I didn't shut down my server. Well, that's great news. Doesn't matter too much to me. Right. Oh, okay, we're on that fix HR in LI. Did we fix it? Oh, we did, yeah. Oh, my bad. Okay. In which case, okay, so let's do this then. We've already got that running, so what I'm going to do is... What we're going to want to do is this. Lovely. Love when that happens. let's have a look. Let's view it on here. So I'm just gonna say localhost, and it's probably gonna, yeah. Thanks. Okay. So I just wanted to view that. Okay, yeah. So this is where we got to. We just switched out the. Oh, what I wanted to do is see it like that. Okay, yeah. But we didn't want this kind of distinction. So what we actually need to do is add some more stuff before we carry on with that. Okay, cool. So we've got a little bit of work on our hands. Nothing crazy. What I want to do though is to be, I don't know, ergonomic about this, I suppose. So we could use this color mode. Okay, so we've got toggle is open. I suppose since we're bringing in the hook, we might as well make use of it. Oh no, I've got use color switcher though. Let's take a look at our hook and see, because I can't remember what kind of like values I had on it. Okay, so we've got this one, we've got that one. I might make like a gray one. Yeah, I'm gonna make, because I suppose this is actually kind of universal. This is because obviously with color light and color dark, they have their own specific use case. Like one is for where you want obviously something to appear light on light mode. Appear light on light, yeah, appear light on light mode and dark on light mode. Is that right? No, okay. So one's where you want it to appear dark on light mode. So if on light mode you actually would use color dark. I thought it was just best to do it that way, just to be explicit, because it's saying like color dark, like not the color for the dark mode, because it can be a bit misleading. Maybe there's a better wording I can use actually, but again, I'm not going to think about that right now. I think that's something to do like at some other point. But with what we're doing now, this is kind of neutral. It doesn't matter whether it's light or dark mode. This is just something where like you want like a gray value for like, I don't know, a box. So just like we have in our design over here, let's have a look. On here, you know, we've got this like very faint grey border that just kind of helps us to distinguish the content from yeah, everything else. So what I'm going to say is const I don't know what to call it. I'm gonna I'm just gonna say color gray. Maybe not the best thing to use, but that's fine. So my hook, it just uses I love custom hooks, and I'm looking forward to writing more. I feel like I haven't written that much, but like, yeah. So what we're gonna do is look at the value that we set in the container. Do you know what? It might actually just genuinely be easier to look in here. Yeah, neutral 200. Thank you. Let's get rid of that now. Okay. So on light mode, we're going to use neutral 200 like we have been using. And then on dark mode, we want it to be faint. So I'm going to say like maybe the equivalent of that, which is, so it goes up to neutral 700 as the highest. Sorry, I'm just typing all kinds of rubbish right now. So I think it'd be neutral 600 is like the second one away. So we can save that. Oh, using Alt to save. Cool. So in our, so where are we? We're in our nav bar. We're in our mobile nav bar. So what we want to do is bring in that hook. So I can just say const something equals use color mode switcher. What we want to bring in is that color. It's really nice. It just gives us a list of things that we can use. That's weird. It's not picking that up yet. I have saved it, right? Oh, it's because we haven't exported it. Right. So we can just like save that in here now. So you have to like, because this is just a good indication that you're not exporting something if it doesn't show up here. So as you can see, color gray is available to us, and no, it's not there that we want to use it. So I'm just going to cut that from there. I keep forgetting we're working a bit more atomically, so we actually need to drag it into the item. Yeah, we need to drag it into item, which is nice. Frees up the logic in the components that might need more logic, maybe. Don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that. But anyway, what we can do now is just pass color gray into the border color, right? And now if I save that up, we'll see now this change. And now it's nice and dimmed. Much better, in my opinion. So we retain like the dim color here, and then it's also now dim on here, so it's like not standing out. In the stream, for some reason, like this line here looks like it's a bit more emphasized than the other ones. I don't know if that is a thing or why that's happening. Yeah, I don't know, like, anyway, it's nice, cool. So I'm cool with that. Let's go ahead and go and commit our changes. So let's, cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna bundle into one commit. That's fine with me. So conventional commits, let's get that up. Oh wow, I've really been doing a lot since then. Conventional commits. Okay. So it's a fix, right? Excuse me. Huh. It's like a UI fix, right? I suppose it's like a fix. I don't want to mix these up too much, but we are just updating styles. Then again, kind of is a fix though, isn't it? Doesn't really matter too much. I'm just going to use no Gitmoji. No, that's cool. I didn't actually mean to click that, but I did, so that's fine. So you've got someone else in the chat. Cool. So cool. So short imperative description. So essentially we will say, so what are we doing here? So remove HR horizontal rule, sorry, from li. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll say removes HR from form, okay, from li. Gosh, I cannot type today. And replace with, what is it, like border, right? And then I'm going to just put a comment, say closes. What issue does it close though? Closes, let's have a look. Sorry, keep hitting my mic and it's just awful. Come on, find my project. No? Is that the one? Yeah, Portfolio V2. Yeah, that's fine. That will do. Okay. And we'll go over to our Zen Hub. Or we can just go to the issues. Actually, might be quicker to see it here. Browser wall. Okay, that's issue 15. So closes issue 15. I don't know why, like maybe it's my Zen Hub integration, but like whenever I'm like merging these PRs, like it's not closing my issues. I don't know why, because I was working on a group project not long ago and you know, it was working. Hey Connor, how's it going? Good to see you in here. Place and border, cool, closes 15. And we will leave that, no breaking changes, cool. So that's all set, close that off. Cool, and what we can do, I'm just gonna check for a remote here, get remote, -v. Oh no, of course, yes, no, we have the remote. It's the thingy branch I want to check for. So we haven't actually got that. So what we can do is git push -u, send that upstream to fix/HR in LI. Right? Yeah. Cool. Oh, that's good to hear, Connor. Yeah, I'm all good, thanks. Just working on more portfolio stuff. It does not appear to be. Yeah, just working on some portfolio stuff. I'm trying to build out a homepage today, actually. So like this is like where we're at in terms of design. So I've got like the mobile and the desktop design for it, and we're just trying to see where we get to, really. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of just keep going with it, and then manage to make awesome stuff. That's really good. What did you end up building with, or like what are you building it with right now? Be really cool to hear about that. And yeah, I think my like bots are still a bit crazy on it on Twitch, but feel free to send a link to it in the Discord chat. I'd love to check that out, Connor. That's cool. So nice. Oh, nice one. That's cool. Yeah, that's what I did with my first portfolio. It was like just pure React. Yeah, that's cool. Like, did you use Webpack, or did you use like Parcel Bundler, or? Right. Cool. Yeah. So that's what I'm building. Have I done something wrong here? Probably have. Does not appear. Hey, Samuel, how's it going? You need to start using Figma. Yeah, man. I'd say go for it. Like, I'm actually like hopefully sort of in the process of doing like a little course, just like a mini course for it. Just to kind of just show like the basic features. And I'd say anyway, check out their like YouTube channel. That's how I kind of learned it. They've got like a lot of beginner friendly videos on getting started with Figma, so I'd say check that out for sure. Yeah, send it in the Discord, Connor. Yeah, that would be great to check that out. DigitalOcean, okay. Oh, that's cool. So I'm just trying to. Have I done something wrong here? So I've got this branch that I'm just working on that I'm ready to kind of push up to GitHub. And it's telling me does not appear to be a repository. You sent it. Okay, cool. I'll check that out. I'll check that out for sure. Let's have a look. Oh, this is nice, man. Cool. It's got a little home page and about page. Some projects, nice. That's cool. Oh, yeah, I quite like how you've written about each project as well. That's a really good idea, and that's something that I've been thinking to start doing as well. Like for each project that I'm like creating, is just to create like some separate like articles just based around that. Nice stuff, man. That's cool. Yeah, I like it. I like the choice of colors as well. It's like a nice layout as well, actually. Yeah, cool stuff, Connor. Nice. No worries. Yeah, that's really cool. Cannot read. I'm just trying to figure out like where I'm going wrong. I know I'm making like a very silly mistake. Yeah, fatal does not. I'm just. Let's see. That's it. No, yeah, cannot read from remote repositories. What I meant to copy and paste. If you guys have any suggestions about what I might be doing wrong, feel free to throw them at me, because I don't know what I'm. Hey, Rolly, how's it going? Good to see you in here. Damn. Let me I don't know if I have a Discord command. I'm just gonna go for it. It's probably not gonna show up, is it? No, I haven't configured that yet. Oh well, worth a shot. Just gonna show it in there for Solomon. I'll pop a link in. So I don't know what's going on here. Let's have a look. Right. Kind of weird, right? Yeah, that's weird. Well, let me just try git push then. Unless I've already like pushed to this. Okay, so git push. Yeah. Okay, like did I typo? Well, like you know what? I'm gonna just put it down to a typo. Yeah, I definitely made some kind of typo or something. My bad. Okay, we're all good. Yeah. Okay, we're all cool. So we push that up. If we jump over to the GitHub now, I think Checkly will just be running its checks. That's another thing I want to do as well. I want to just add a few more things to my end-to-end test, just to assert a few things. Like, I just thought of a random one, but I suppose it would be a good thing to check. So with our end-to-end test, it's basically just tests that run each time we deploy. It's just checking that like there's certain things we want to remain the same, right? There's certain things that we want to make sure like aren't broken when we're trying to like merge in like other branches and stuff. I know it's very simple, maybe like a bit arbitrary and contrived, but like it'd be nice to just check to make sure that if someone clicks on this, that it does turn to dark mode and that turns to light mode. And one nice thing we can use to check this is actually so like if we click on this button here, so yeah, you can see actually in the accessibility column, that's probably easier. I don't know why I got rid of that. It'd probably be easier. So you can see like in this, in the name where it says accessibility, where it says name, it says toggle dark mode, right? So we can actually go and get that like value. I'm pretty sure we can fetch that value from the DOM, and that's like our way of checking like to make sure. So like if it's saying toggle dark mode, we know it's light mode. If it's saying toggle light mode, we know it's on dark mode. So I'm gonna do that hopefully at some point, either in this stream or the next, but it'd probably be like a nice thing to do. So we've got things pushed up to GitHub, which is great. And yeah, we can like compare and pull request and all that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run it against development. So let's compare and pull request. Yeah, it's absolutely fine. I'm a lowercase boy, so I just prefer that. That's cool. Not checking against main, let's check against develop. We'll push to main once we've got like our feature built out, basically. I'm just going to consider this like part of this big feature build that we're doing with the homepage. So it closes 15, that's cool. Create the pull request. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so we can see our Checkly, like our check is passing. Like it's always going to pass because like we haven't changed our title. So that's good anyway. So that's cool. And we can look at the issues connected, so we can see as well like this pull request is connected to this issue, so that's nice. Merging is blocked, yeah, that's fine. So I can like squash and merge that, or create a merge commit. I'm just going to squash and merge that again. Yes, please. Cool. So we're all good to do that. And then, yeah, that's all closed. We can delete this branch, and then what we can do in here is if I jump out of here, if I do git checkout develop. So we're on the develop branch now. Now I can say git branch dash d was it fix / hr in li. Should let us delete it. Deleted branch. That's cool. Don't really care about all that. But obviously the origin is still there, but it actually isn't there. It's just showing up. So what we run for that, I believe, is, I feel like it's git prune. Is it git prune origin? So prune is just checking if there's any like deleted branches that haven't obviously been updated in our local yet, I believe. Is it git prune? I think it's just git prune, right? Yeah. Go away. Let's have a look. Oh, right. Okay. So we actually... Oh, git remote prune origin. Okay. Oh, no, okay. So they're talking about it in a different context. No, I think it is just git prune. To like... Yeah, because we want to garbage collect the branches that we're not using. I feel like sometimes I'm just too careful with this stuff, but then again, like when it comes to Git, like I don't want to, I really don't want to mess stuff up. Even though like a lot of the things, or most of what you can do in Git is like reversible by nature, I'd still rather like not get myself into like a mess. I'm just gonna prune. Warning: symbolic ref is dangling. I have no idea what that means. Yeah, that didn't do what we wanted it to do. Cool, okay. Well, I'm going to say git prune. Yeah, okay, remote branches. That's what I probably should have. To clean up remote branches, right? Yeah, I probably should have just listened to that command. So it is git remote prune. Origin. Okay, there we go, pruned. Okay, so git remote prune origin, cool. So we've got rid of that now. Just want to make sure I haven't killed my main branch. No, we're all good. Just run through. Cool. Back on develop. Okay, so what we want to do now is basically create our new branch. So I'm going to git check out, or actually firstly let's just pull the latest changes. Cool. And then we can git check out -b, and then what do we want to call it? Feature slash, I'm gonna say feature slash homepage. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Cool. And now we switch to that branch. That's all good. So let's get going with this thing. We can just run like a git fetch on like develop to make sure that there's nothing. Oh my god. Do we need to reference the origin? No, I don't know. Funny business. Right, let's get rid of these. And now we're back here. Cool. Just make sure that we actually have everything. It's probably going to tell me that. That's so weird. Like, I'm just wondering. Or should I just do a general like git pull? Cool. There is no checking out yeah for the current branch, of course. Oh, that's cool. You can do it like set tracking information by default. It's interesting. I'm sure I've known about that, but like I just don't really do it until I need to like commit or like push changes. But anyway, I'm confident that we have the latest changes. We can even check this now because it should be in our local we've pulled. So if we look here we should have, yeah, that's fine. The latest changes are here, so we're all good. So what do we want to do? So what we want to do now is basically, let's see where to start actually. And I think I'm just going to start with, okay, so we're hitting 5:30. So I'm going to try and work on this like maybe like another 30 minutes or so. So we're going to think about structure like right now, essentially. And I think what we'll do, instead of building it like, okay, let's do mobile and then desktop. That's how I'd usually use it. I'd usually use it. How I'd usually build it would be to like do the mobile view first and then go to desktop. But like with Chakra, I think just because of the way that they like have the media queries baked into the components, it makes it a lot easier to just build both at the same time. So rather than building like from like building this whole mobile view out and then building the desktop, not building the desktop, adapting it to the desktop. I just find it easier with Chakra to like focus on like feature by feature. So like with this hero section, I suppose we can call it, I'd actually just start on the hero section first, do the mobile for that, and then like adapt it to desktop like at the same time, just because it's like it all happens within the component. Because obviously usually with media queries you have them like, you know, in your CSS file, and then like further down the CSS file you have the different like views. But obviously with Chakra, the way they do it, you know, you kind of have all of those views baked into the component. And I just really like having that all in one place, because when you get rid, like if you need to remove that component, all of the media queries and all the CSS just like goes with it. You don't have to jump into other places to like get rid of that like extra CSS or whatever. So it works well for me personally, but I think that's how we're going to do it. So I suppose we'll start with actually building out the first feature. And I kind of mentioned this before on a stream, but I like to just think of things in the structure that they're in Figma. So like think in this kind of box model like fashion. So like this is our kind of hero section. So we'd have like this like, I don't know, flex box where we'd have two elements, which is the hero text and the hero image. And then obviously inside those we have different things. Obviously the hero image is just like a bunch of SVGs, so that's not going to be difficult to, in terms of layout anyway. But obviously in here we've got like these different boxes, and then inside those boxes we've got more stuff and all of that. So I think what we'll start by doing is just getting this hero section box basically worked out. So let's just build that out. And I'm just thinking now, like in terms of actually like building stuff out. So we've got the container, right? And the container has a lot of stuff. Like this is like almost 400 lines of code long. So like we're gonna want to do something different here. Oh, bear with me guys. I just got to take a call real quick, and I will be like literally right back. Right, okay. Sorry about that, guys. Right, okay. Where were we at? So, yeah, let's get building. So basically, so we've got our pages here. You know what? Let's go into, so what is it, Next.js, right? This is our main page. I'm gonna say like let's just start building in here, and obviously, you know, when we need to start abstracting stuff out, we'll start doing that. We've got our content wrappers and stuff, so that's great. So what I'm gonna do is just separately here build out my bad. Build out my hero section component. So I'm going to say const hero equals, so this is that outer box. What we're going to return is, let's just return a flex for now. And that's going to have 2 elements in it, right? Excuse me. So it's going to have this text and this visual. So the text we should just be fine to actually just sort of keep things as they are. So let's actually just kind of go with that. So I think for now we need to create another, okay, yeah, so we need to create another box to keep the text. So I'm just going to have this as, you know, I'm going to make it a VStack just because we're probably going to need to utilize like the spacing features it has. So that's basically a VStack is a flex box, is a div with the flex properties, with a column direction, but it has just some extra like spacing properties that you can use, which like you can't usually do. So that's kind of nice. So let's see here. So we've got flex, we've got VStack. So in the V, so basically this is the way we can look at it, right? So we've got flex and a VStack here. Flex is this outer box. The VStack is this basically, and the VStack's got two elements in it, right? So we can do that now. And I'm just trying to think, like, that doesn't need to be. Let's think of how we're going to compose this here. This is like a big part of it. It's just thinking of how you're going to compose things and like how to make things easier for yourself and more maintainable for yourself. Like if you were to come back to this in like 6 months. So we've got the VStack. That's got 2 elements. For now, like let's just make the top one a box. And then that has our H1. So that's got our heading, not head, but heading. And that heading, I'm really lazy, so I'm just going to copy and paste here. I'm sure that sorry, I'm jumping across pages right now. It's because I'm looking at the wrong place. Okay. Let's paste that in here. So we've got the heading in there, and then the second thing that we have is this text, which is the subtitle. Oh, I have massively skipped a step, but it's fine because we can work across 2 branches, right? Like, let's just do that. I'm just gonna put this in text for now, and so let's set this. Let's set some semantics on these. So this is a H1. So we have to, like by default, I think it's kind of nice to have this, like to be able to just set it as each thing. So we have this initial heading component, and we can set the semantics on it, so that will render as a H1, and also we can set the variant. So like if you want a H1 to have a different size, we have the flexibility to change the sizes. The sizes aren't synonymous with the actual heading elements, so you could have like a H2 variant, but it actually renders as a H1, but in terms of size, it just, you know, you might have a use case where you need to like change sizes around, and this is kind of nice for that. Same thing with the text as well. So I can put this variant as, was it like subtitle? It's not going to show me what I have available. Great. I believe it's subtitle. I think that comes under text, right? What I'm going to do is, so is that right? So we've got the VStack. Then here we've got a box. Let's just say, oh, you know what? I'm going to make it a center just to kind of help us to actually like visualize. So I don't know how well this is going to work, but I'm just going to say, going to have some text in here that's just going to say like hero visual. Okay. I think we can make this variant whatever we want. No, we can't actually. because we set specific things for the, yeah, we can't use text variants and heading variants interchangeably, but that's fine. So got two separate things. I'm going to make the box size, I'm going to set a box size on it, just of 600 px, because that's what we've got. So if I save that now and get rid of, I can get rid of all this now. So I can now replace this with hero. Save that up, and let's have a look at our development. See if we get any errors, which we have, and that's because something's not being, yeah, it's because flex is not being defined, and we've got head coming in where we don't need it. Oh my gosh, it's all a mess. Okay. Okay, so let's save that up. See how things are looking right now. I've also actually just, what else is not defined? Box is not defined either. Text is defined though, so that's good. Okay, so yeah, things are looking weird. That's because we're not on the desktop view. Oh, even on the desktop view, things are looking weird. We can like get into that later, but actually I haven't even started building the way I said I was going to build, so that's not good. So essentially, like, what we need to do here is rethink this a little bit. I've just kind of gone straight in. I suppose we can figure out the fonts later. Yeah, no, that's fine. We'll just carry on building this today. Basically, what I was saying before was that there were some things I needed to do before, like changing the font. Decided to change the font, well, the body font anyway, to Montserrat. I realized that Sora, the font I'm using for my heading and my body text, actually doesn't have any like italics or like, yeah, it doesn't have any italics, and obviously that's useful in certain contexts. So for like emphasizing things. So I've kind of decided to go with Montserrat now for the body font. So that needs to be changed, but I'll do that like separately. But in terms of building this out, okay, let's like rethink this thing. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm just going to do this. This is kind of like an easier way for me to think about this. It's just probably, before I get rid of that, let's look at how, so yeah, my bad. Just by habit, I've gone to trying to do things like starting with the desktop size when we should probably just start down here. So what I can actually just do is look at it in this way. So like I said, we'll deal with each thing, right? So what we want to do, basically, more or less, is like have something that checks. So we can bring in our media query friend. We can bring in the use media query so that we can have stuff like change depending on the size. So we can keep like this header and yeah, so these like generally are fine. I'm just trying to figure out like what has the border around it. Is this a center? Wait, let's do like let's run a background of like yellow. Oh no, okay, so that's there. That's weird. Oh, I think I know. Oh, I know what it is. Oh, I know what it is. Okay. Oh, my bad, guys. That should not be in the content wrapper. So that's why it's looking weird. Okay, if I get rid of that now, things should look a little bit more normal. There we go. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for like, yeah, that's a bit better. Cool. So what we want to do first of all, actually, is to only render like, so obviously this is all going to change, but we're just kind of using placeholder stuff for now. And so what I'm going to do, instead of doing that, giving it a weird background, I'm just going to give it a border. Border of like 1px solid. Is it going to give us a default color? Please give us a default color. Thank you. Okay, so that's, I don't know why it's like, So let's do justify. Hopefully the space between will help them to be more central. Now, I always find with like text is not willing to like shift. Like it's just not willing to shift. You have to like you have to give it constraints. So like if I go and change the width of this box, which is wrapping the text, you'll see how like it changes now. So if I make the 600, so you can see now that adjusts. Like text is such a nightmare when you're trying to like resize stuff. Okay, that's better. It's not really what we want, but like, or I could even say, I think maybe potentially a better thing to do would say max width equals like 50% of its parent, which is obviously the flexbox. Not working how we want it to. If I set that to 100% though, might change things. No, it doesn't. Not quite. This is interesting. Yeah, this is a song called Felt Compute Might Delete. I don't know if it's actually from like, I think I might added it to this playlist by accident. Like hopefully it's like DMCA safe so I don't get any strikes. Okay, that's cool. But that's like, say it's now, we've gone back to like where we were at before. But then again, like I suppose, do you know what, like what's the harm in box size and things, right? Like let's just box size it. Or it's either that or we just make them both like 50%. I don't know if that would work on this. So what we would need here, so the reason why this is weird is because like, actually no, that doesn't make sense, does it? Oh no, sorry, we don't want the box. No, we want the width to do, we want the height to do whatever it wants. We want the width. So that will go back to normal now. Or maybe not. No, so let's go back and have this as 600. And now, okay, so yeah, now this is being a bit like weird about things. Doesn't matter that much. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Let's actually just look at what it looks like here. Okay, so like, that's like more or less the same, to be honest. Cool, okay. So if we wanted, we could say, do you know what? I'm going to be like, just for the sake of this, I'm going to be just entirely explicit about this for now. And just give it the sizes that I'm seeing in Figma. And then the height was what, like 660 px. Hopefully these things should sit quite nicely inside this if I align them centrally. So if I align those two centrally, that should sit the way they're sitting in Figma, just in the middle. That's only a slight change though. And yeah, we've got the width and height set. And then, so what we can do now, essentially for, so 596. So yeah, we've got a bit of spacing. We can let that height 100%. That's 600. Cool. So again, I don't know if this is the most ideal way to like kind of work with things. Like I think working with percentages are good up until a certain point where sometimes you just have to like explicitly set dimensions, especially because I've been reading a lot about like optimization and especially like image optimization, and like not setting dimensions on your images. I believe can contribute to like cumulative layout shift, which is obviously not a great thing for performance. So I know like around that area, like there's more like advice nowadays to have strict like widths and heights set on your images, and so I think even in terms of layout, sometimes it's just good to have things set, especially because like we know what that's like in the Figma file, right? The only thing is now is like what am I using for styling? I'm using Chakra UI, Samuel, so I'll show you. I can't remember if I demoed it the last time you were on, but like man, it's a great tool. Like, it's like, since I've started using it, I haven't gone back to anything else. Just purely for like how quickly you can build something. And like, I personally think it doesn't have as steep a learning curve as like some of the other UI libraries. I feel like it's very like straightforward to get started with it. They now have some YouTube videos as well on getting started, so I'd recommend checking out those. But like, their documentation is like amazing. Because like the first project I ever built with it, I just went completely off the documentation. I didn't know anything about it, but I just kind of did it on a whim. But I managed to like build it just by going through their documentation. So that says a lot about sort of how clear they make things. So yeah, if you're looking to get into it, I would recommend definitely checking out the docs. I'd say like start with I'd say probably the most important thing in terms of, I mean, like, they have some general setup things. I'd say look at the installation. Yeah, so like this page here, it's a bit similar. Yeah, I'm guessing like the APIs are probably quite similar in terms of how you like, you know, write your components. I haven't actually got much experience with Material UI personally, so I can't say how similar they are, but like, I know that with this, like, yeah, in terms of like, because I was using like emotion and style components before, and what's nice about it is that like, if you're used to working that way, then like, this isn't too much of a change from that. I think also if you use Tailwind as well, it's similar in the sense that you have like basically inline CSS styles, but where I think it's like where it like wins over Tailwind is that like Tailwind has a lot of like abstractions, which I think some people like it. Personally for me, like when I'm writing CSS, I like to look at it and know exactly what each thing is, like, because I know like Tailwind has a lot of abbreviations, which is like, obviously that's, you know, it kind of helps you to write stuff quicker for sure. But for me, the caveat is that like, you don't always, like, at a glance, you can't always tell what everything is. But with Chakra, you still have the same inline thing, but they give you the option to like basically write CSS how you normally would. But you can also like abbreviate it. They do have abbreviations for certain things as well. So for me, I kind of mix it, like for stuff like width and height, right? Like I know at a glance when I see W or H, I know that's width or height. But like with certain things, say like flex direction or like border radius or things that are a bit more lengthy in name, that I just kind of feel better about writing those out fully. So that's kind of like, yeah, like where I kind of prefer it. And like, I know like there's a lot you can do with the theme. You can customize the theme a lot. Like their default styles are really nice. So you can see here, like it's got a similar look to Tailwind in terms of their actual default look. I think that's probably like the biggest similarity. But yeah, I say check it out for sure. It's really cool. I'm gonna close that down. And so we've got kind of stuff set now, and let's have a look at what things are looking like. So obviously it's not responsive yet, that's fine. But okay, so like this is good for now. This is good right now. We need to, because the only reason I'm thinking in terms of like having something that scales is obviously for the different screen sizes. Like, because as we resize, as you can see, they're fixed, right? Like, because it's PX, they're fixed values, right? So, and that's not what we want. So like, I don't think I'm gonna have enough time today to like go into like refactoring and stuff. What I might do actually is this. So there's space between, so let's not set a width for that. Maybe it's potentially a good place to use like the H stack. I don't really know though. Let's just see. What I'm actually going to do is just break that out and just comment it, because we might need to uncomment that. Let's just save that and just see where we're at. Yeah, so it does really weird things, like where you don't set sizes like explicitly. So let's set that back. Again, like we have to set stuff on this for some reason. Okay, that's fine. We'll just leave it like that for now. But what I want to do quickly before I start to like round off is to use media query hook. Use media query, cool. I'm actually just gonna drag it from let me find it. Cool. Nice one. Thank you. So what I'm gonna do is just paste that in here. I'm just gonna, yes please. Okay, so it's large. So what we can do here is we can say, because we only want this hero visual to show up on like our large sizes, like we don't really have enough space to show it on the lower sizes. So we can say is large and so like just it's a nice shorthand in React for basically saying if something is true. So if that's true, I'm going to break that out there. If that's true, then render this, right? So what we'll see now is, I suppose that's not a large screen size, but like if we go to inspect, you can see now, let's go to responsive. It's like massive. Cool. You can see now, as we start to resize this is going to disappear. There we go. So basically, obviously, like the spacing is horrible, but like you can see it disappears when it gets to the smaller screen sizes, which is what we want, so that things can run a bit more smoothly. So that's fine. So we need to set things a bit better with this. This is like the thing I like about doing CSS, is like working with layouts, but it's also the thing I find the hardest. Like it's very hard to like get like sizing to work well with each other. I've always found that like it's like I get what I'm trying to do. So it all comes back to having this like outer. So let's go back to that for a second. So we need to look at like what's outside of this, right? So let's just get that back down to there. Okay. So I'm just going to give this like a little background, neutral, like 100. Okay. So we can see now. Cool. So that's 100%, right? Like we've got that. So we don't actually need to set that, I don't think. It should just stay. Okay. It's evidently not, actually. Funnily enough, we actually do, unless we need to set this is 100%. This should just, okay, there we go. So we set it as 100%. That's 100%, right? Cool, we're good there. In terms of height, might be useful to set the height. We'll leave it like so. But what I want to do is just jump like a level outside of this and have a look at our container. So because we just want to make sure that like, so our container's wrapping everything. If we come back up to the top, which is where all of the actual like, so this is like the main return, like the main body of the return, right? And you can see our children is wrapped in this VStack, right? So we look at the parent of that, which is what, like this box, right? And this is where like, this is what our, so M auto, cool, yeah. So that's all right. Okay, yeah, cool. So yeah, the width. Okay, yeah. So this is where the width is being set. It's being set on this box element, right? So if I'm to like, you won't be able to tell the difference because like our thing is 100%. But if I was just to put this some random color like yellow, this shouldn't come through. It will come through under this and above it. But like, yeah. So like, this is our entire like. It's the worst color to choose to demonstrate that. But like, that's like all the space we have to play with, basically. So we've got this at 100%. That's cool. So the issue that we're having now is like trying to get these two elements inside our hero section to play nicely. That's the trouble we're finding right now. So Like they seem fine right now. And let's have a look also, like how things are just looking on like iPhone, for example. Okay. And let's get this a bit zoomed in. Cool. So that's like definitely not what we want, right? And that has a lot to do with the height, I think. Like, let's see what happens if we remove that height. Right, so that's like kind of more where it should be. Also, so like we need slight padding. So like there's no padding on this like mobile view. Again, it's not good. And for some reason, like, I don't know what's changed since. Okay, so that works there. Like this whole section has just gone weird. Yeah, the whole section has gone like really weird now, and I don't know why. Like it was all right before when we had the, like if I go to a different page. So if I go to a different page, it's fine. Oh, my bad. Let's have a look at, yeah, so everything kind of works. So you can tell, like, so something's up with the home page basically right now. Which like, oh, it's the content wrapper, of course. It's of course. I'm just interested, like, as to what the content wrapper did for us. Because really, like, this navbar shouldn't change based on like what we have going on here. So I don't know why that's happening. Unless it's like an alignment thing, I don't know. I don't think so though. Yeah, I don't know. That shouldn't be the case, but it is. So we'll just not question it for now. So that's fine. So what we actually need to do before we move on is to jump back into the container. So we actually don't want this to be 100 of the view width. So even at the mobile, so we probably want this to start on like 90. So that should, yeah, so that pulls itself in now. Again, like why we're getting this like weird, I don't know. Let me just get rid of this for a second, and let me just like do a heading that just says like, yo. Okay, so it's something to, okay, so yeah, okay. We're doing something like questionable in our layout. So let's try and rethink this then. Let's actually, so let's go back and try and fix this up. Let's see, so hero, so it's gonna go weird again. Let's figure out what's going wrong with some background stuff. Don't know, let's give it a random color. Cool, so that's already weird. And I feel like with this, maybe it's the H stack. Maybe that. I'm just trying to like see if there's like a CSS prop that's making things go weird. I think it's definitely something to do with like these sizes and stuff. So let me just get rid of all of those. So it's that, is it this size? So it's not that one per se, but it's that. It's like this guy. So weird, right? How like it does that. I don't know. Like CSS can be weird, but like this is definitely more closer to like what we want. So if we come back and look at our design here, that's a lot closer to that, right? So yeah. So that's a bit closer now to like what we're actually trying to get. It's good in terms of spacing too. That's cool. That's what we're expecting. Am I even reading off the right one? Yeah, I am. I think I got my text from somewhere else before. I have so many different versions of like, it doesn't really matter, but like, it's cool. Cool. Okay, yeah. So that resembles our design like a lot more now. So as we can see, and apologies for the screen, just yeah, I need to figure out a better setup for like all this, but so that's working all right. And let's like focus on this maybe for like a little bit. I'm actually about to come off in a minute. I gotta sort out dinner and stuff, but I'll be back hopefully tomorrow. I'm gonna be working on this tonight as well, so like I'll update on what I've been up to for sure. Okay, so what we want to do here is just like align content to the left. Is it left? Probably, or start. Yeah, left, start. It's the same thing. So the reason we're doing a V stack is because we want to add some more stuff here. So this is where we've got to start like adding more boxes and stuff. Because we can't really avoid that. And I say that actually. Let's not add more divs. Let's use margin to our advantage. I don't know why I don't do this more often. I think I'd sometimes just think in divs, if that's even a saying. But yeah, it's definitely not the best habit. I'm going to say I'm going to have another heading here as a H2. Which is gonna be this like little playful thing where I just go on to explain a bit more about myself. So let's drop that in there, and that's gonna be like a heading. So in terms of the actual like as prop, this is gonna render out as a H2, and then I kind of mentioned before that we also have a variant, which so you can have like these different like H1s and H2s, but they're not tied to a specific size. You can just use a variant prop to like change sizes, just because I said like you have different contexts where sometimes you might need a H2 that's not like a massive heading size. Like it does happen. Because yeah, I think that's one mistake. Like, it's definitely one mistake I've made many times where I like mistake semantics for like actual visual hierarchy, and I think just because it's a H2 it has to be like massive, but it doesn't actually. It's more about the order of importance in your document basically. So we can have a look in the Figma file here to see what size this is. So that's mobile H3. I need to have a look in the theme actually to figure out. I've kind of lost my. Oh, there we are. I'd like lost my mouse for a second there. Go into our theme, into our typography file, and we can see heading H3. Oh yes, I forget about this. So this is cool. We have this. I forgot I did this. So we have we actually have this responsiveness baked in. So in Figma, where like I'll jump into it here. Here on the side, where we're setting like these sizes for our desktop, and then we have to set our headings for our mobile separately. This is what I like about. This is what is great about Chakra, is that like we've basically just been able just to bake that into our actual heading component in our theme, so that actually we don't need to say, oh, this is for heading or for mobile. Like Chakra works that out itself. So we just need to give it the like that prop, and it will like figure the rest out basically. That's like the nice thing. I think, did I lose myself? No, okay, I'm all good. Cool. So variant H3. So like we'll see. And so that's how, yeah, everything like nicely resized itself. So as you can see, we've got that there. And then under that, we can have like some group of text. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be separating things by margin. Yeah, there's really not like necessarily any strict reason to use divs. Like obviously, you know, if you need to use like flex for some layout stuff, like that's fine. But I think, yeah, we do have to like just be wary of not getting into div soup, as they call it, and just using margins because they're available to us as well. So, but I think for more complex layouts, of course, like, you know, you don't really have much of a choice at times. And so what I'm going to do is just get this last bit built out, and then I'm going to add the button as well. So I was going to say get in touch. Actually, I don't think I need to do that. It should. I'm just going to write it like this. This should be in all caps if I've done my work correctly. Let's see. Yeah, it is, but it's spanning the whole thing. And I don't know why though, because it's weird. That's because we haven't set the variant actually, so I'm a bit wrong there actually. Let's see what it's like medium wise. Okay, that doesn't exist. Sorry, no, that's the wrong. Sorry, it's not. Is it variant? No. Oh, okay, my bad. I think it's variant. I have variants set like this, don't I? Primary and stuff. Okay, let's have a look, because we might not have set sizes on this actually. But I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look. Sizes small. I think I set. So the border radius is small. Okay. I think I set. I suppose I just allowed it to. Okay, yeah. So that's like a separate thing. No, that's fine. That's fine. Sorry, this is just me. So I want it to be primary themed, and what we can see now is it's going to turn purple. Nice. I had a little transition there, which was kind of nice. I think that's a default thing. So got primary themed, and now we can set our size to be small or medium, and it should just adjust as needed, which it doesn't. Maybe because that's medium, but I don't know why the medium one's that big. Ah, okay. So I forget. It's size of text, right? So the actual button itself. This is interesting, actually. Always okay. So the padding. So, yeah, that is actually really interesting to me, because I'm just trying to figure out. So size medium is referring to the text size basically. It would be a good time to jump into Storybook, but like, strange thing about it though is that like this, it wasn't doing this in Storybook, which is definitely weird for sure. I don't really know, like whether it's just inheriting. So maybe the button just inherits, because obviously like the next size we have is 100%. Like if I change this to like 50%, it's probably gonna. That will tell me that it's inheriting. Yeah, so it's just inheriting like whatever the thing above it is set. That's not good. We actually just need to have like if I go in here and I set the box size of this, I guarantee this will be like different. So okay, let's have a look. Let's go like small. That's probably gonna be tiny, isn't it? Okay, yeah, so that's weird. It's doing some weird stuff. We don't even want a box size for it though. We want like, or if I say padding, sorry, let me do py and px, and let's just take what we had from like this button file. So py 0.5, px equals Yeah, it doesn't seem, unless I'm like calculating this wrong. Let's give it something like much smaller. Yeah, I don't know. CSS is like can be weird. Yeah, so it just doesn't respond to the padding. So we have to explicitly give it like width and height values, I believe. So like that's fine though, because like we're only ever gonna have like a set amount of sizes. So that's my bad for like not thinking about that. Okay, so like 184 and like 50, right? It's gonna be like our kind of base thing. So let's say width is 184px. But like all of this will be set default in the theme once I'm done here. So like that's now what we're expecting, right? That's what we saw in Figma. So that's a bit better. So what we're gonna have to do is just, yeah, I'm just gonna have to configure that to be like a default thing. And that's fine for me, like that's okay. And I'm just gonna have a look back at the Figma file. Cool. Yeah, so that's cool. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of round off now. But like that's kind of just an idea of how you can maybe go about going off our design. Obviously I've done that a couple of times now, just going through things. So what I'm going to be doing tonight is just going through, adding more to this page really. I'll update in the next stream, which will hopefully be tomorrow, but not entirely sure yet. But I'm just going to be adding like some spacing to these bits, and then start to make things more responsive. So once we drag this out and we have this visual here, which obviously is not looking good right now, but we're going to fix that. That's fine, not an issue. Once we get like all of that sorted and yeah, figured out, then essentially we will then start to think about adding in like the newsletter, which is going to be like probably the first component that I'm gonna like want to test. So I'm going to be looking into like testing that, and I'm actually going to be using button down for my AP for my newsletter. So that will be like the first API we're going to be working with. So that should be interesting. Hopefully next week. Well, definitely next week actually, because the aim is to kind of get all this built out over the weekend and hopefully start on the about page as well. So I want to try and push this a bit more now. I said the same last week and that didn't happen. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, didn't get as far as we wanted to get, but that's that's fine. That happens. But at least we've got the design to go off. So I'm just going to carry on building out this page. Basically, it's obviously going to start with the placeholder content, and then once these are sort of built out a bit more, I'll just add those in. But like most of it is kind of like where I want it to be. The layouts there, just need a few tweaks, and then obviously the about page, wherever it is, here it is. Yeah, just needs a bit of work as well, and then yeah, hopefully we can just get pushing on and just building out these features fully. So yeah, that's me. And Solomon, I'm not sure if you're still in here, but I'm just gonna pop a link to the Discord, so anyone feel free to join the Discord, and yeah, chat about all things web dev in there, and stuff we're working on and all of that stuff. Yeah, I'll see you next week. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll be I'll be aiming to get on tomorrow, if not definitely like Monday, and I'll be aiming to stream most days next week, Solomon. But yeah, feel free to join the Discord if you want to sort of chat with the guys there. We've kind of just kicked off things today, just chatting about what we do. So yeah, that should be cool. But yeah, we'll catch you in the next stream, and thanks for tuning in, Solomon. Appreciate it. Cool. So I'm gonna wrap up now, and yeah, get working on this tonight. I've got my work cut out for me, but it's all good. Like, I kind of like facing these like issues with like CSS, because I know like one way or another I'm gonna wrangle the code to like do what I want it to do. It's just like a case of thinking about things, rethinking things. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, take care, Solomon, and thanks to everyone else that's tuning in or that is gonna tune in. Yeah, big thanks for watching. So yeah, we'll catch you guys